Hello, guys, and welcome back to League One predictions. We are back predicting the third tier of English football, and it's game week 40, Ben. How did that happen?
Seems to happen to me every season that I go to a game in August for the start of the season, and then it's round 40. But cracking pace this weekend at the top of the table, and we will be lamenting the departure of one of our favourite League One characters later in the show.
Oh, Ben, don't get me started.
I know.
There's a lot to talk about. Speaking of last week's results, Ben, let's get our scores up, where we had a score of Matt 11, Ben 11.
Oh, wow. I was impressed with your 11 and then even more impressed with my 11. How about that?
Yeah, we both did pretty well. Both got, I think, 2 bob-ons correct. So there you go. Good predictions from both of us. I've still got some catching up to do with Ben. Some big storylines to talk about as we get into this. Before we do, guys, let's go for some plugs. Your support has been amazing this season. Only 6 weeks to go after today. Make sure to drop a like and get involved. It's midweek predictions, so get your predictions in quickly. Make sure to subscribe to both myself and Benjamin Bloom. As I say, there's lots of content on both of our channels at this stage of the season. Ben's link is in the description, so go check it out. Ben, let's get into the midweek games. You're up first for Barnsley versus Exeter.
How beachy does this one feel? I get in trouble for going for these too early. Barnsley is still only, it's 54 to 62, and they're 8 points off the playoffs, and they are just not winning. Exeter look pretty safe there, 9 points clear. So maybe I'll go for a kind of beach bally type thing. I mean, you could call it down the middle and hit draw. Barnsley got to win sooner or later, Matt, haven't they?
I don't know. Do you know what? I saw a Barnsley fan at the weekend, Ben, and I was asking him how he felt after the result because I saw him on Sunday, and he was disappointed, and he was saying that their playoff hopes are over. You're right, 8 points off the playoffs, Ben, and they have played a game more. They're too inconsistent.
Let's give them the win then. Let's give them the win. Barnsley 2, Exeter 1.
Oh, okay. Every week I come on here and I feel like I back Barnsley because I think they're quite good, but they don't deliver very often. They're probably not helping me out with points, but I am a bit worried that Barnsley get the win here. And if I don't back them, you get points and I don't. And I'm playing very tactically because I've got some catching up to do. I will go Barnsley 1, Exeter 0. As you touched on, I think Exeter nearly safe. Yeah, they're quite far over a point per game. Barnsley, if they've got any chance of the playoffs, they have to win. But even then, I don't think they're going to do it. So we've got Barnsley 2-1 and Barnsley 1-0. Speaking of the playoff race, Ben, this is massive at Bloomfield Road. Blackpool versus Reading. A massive pat on the back to both clubs. Both got big wins at the weekend, Ben. Blackpool 2-1 winners over Bolton. They are definitely involved. I know they're coming from the outside and trying to sneak in, but they're picking up good results and very hard to beat at Bloomfield Road. They've turned draws into wins. But Reading, Ben, really pleased for them. Obviously, the off-the-pitch issues are not sorted yet, but things are still looking good on the pitch. They've climbed into the top 6. I'm going to go for chaos, though, and back the team outside the playoffs to beat the team in the playoffs. Blackpool 2, Reading 1.
Yeah, I mean, fair play. I think we both predicted Reading would lose after the announcements about the the ownership and whatnot. So yeah, really fair play. What's that? 11 undefeated. So I think with that being said, I'm going to call this right down the middle, and I'm going to call the draw. It just seems to tick a lot of boxes, and it's just the idea that 6th place is totally open is very, very real, isn't it? Reading at 62. And then I think you can go down as far as Blackpool. And certainly what the Blackpool fans are going to be thinking is, right, reel them in. You've got to beat them. But I'm going for the one unhelpful draw. The one helpful draw. 1-1.
I like it. So Blackpool have won 4 in their last 5, Ben. And this is a fixture they will want. It's at home. It's a team that they can pull towards them. The concern is, Ben, if Blackpool lose this, that might be it. Because
that's fair. Yeah, because what would that go to? 8 points, would it? 57 to 65. Yeah, so it's just a massive game, isn't it? Proper tick-off game, isn't it?
Absolutely. Ben, another massive game up next. You are up first for the game at the Pirelli, Burton Albion v Leyton Orient.
Well, the Orient Express is going again, isn't it? We said, here comes losing streak and winning streak is now building. Okay, streak. Can I class streak as more than one consecutive event? Because they have won 2 games on the trot now, Orient. I think maybe have Burton blown out now with their quick little, it wasn't quick necessarily, but, you know, they're kind of pushed towards possible safety. But it does feel like Crawley, who will come on to the hot hand, if anyone's going to get out of it at the moment. So I will be back in Leyton Orient. It's both teams to score, isn't it? Burton 1, Orient 3.
Ooh, I like it. I will go in an opposite direction. I will go Burton 2, Leyton Orient 1. For the sake of chaos, Ben. I do like your narrative though. Leyton Orient are very streaky, and here they go again on this winning run. But Burton, Ben, might have one eye on the fact that Bristol Rovers are playing Birmingham this week, and if Burton can win, they'll be 3 points off and still have a game in hand. So we could really get a
all good points. All good points, mate.
They've got a better goal difference as well, I will say. So I will back Burton for the sake of chaos. Let's say they bounce back from the defeat at Stockport. Ben, I'm up first for Cambridge versus Wrexham. Wrexham keep winning. A 2-0 win away at Exeter. They need to keep ticking these wins off because Wycombe are playing Shrewsbury at home this week. So you suspect they might win again. Cambridge, Ben, it's back-to-back draws, which doesn't do much when you're so far adrift. Cambridge 0, Wrexham 1.
Yeah, it's a scribble, as you can imagine. You just think Wrexham now, muscle memory, they're going to be into the groove. You know, all the team talks, whatever the captain's saying, pre and post game, it's all going to be, come on, guys, 77. Let's go to 80. Let's go to 83. Let's go to 86. Just keep going. They've done such a great job to get themselves in this position. And when you're going to face 23rd in the table, Cambridge, 6th without a win as well, you've got to keep that clean sheet and you've got to get that win. You've taken the 1-0, which I did like. I think as well, midweek as well, Matt. We've said it in League One. Just get it done, get it over the line. I'll take the 2-0 then. Cambridge 0, Wrexham 2, and the leaders up there to keep on winning.
Yeah, I do like that. It feels like it's going to be who slips first out of Wrexham and Wycombe. And we know that Wycombe have got difficult games coming, so Wrexham need to keep applying the pressure from their end. Share your thoughts down below. We're both backing them. Ben, we move on to Crawley Town versus Peterborough United. You're up first.
Well, I've been brought up to tell the truth, but I'm going to say a bold-faced lie now because I'm going to back Crawley because it's fun and it's a really great story with the return of Scott Lindsay and back-to-back wins there. I can't even persuade myself. We talked about it before we came on, didn't we? That Peterborough distracted by the cup final. No, it's still another 2 weeks away. They're not distracted by it at all. Peterborough are favourites to win this one. They did win. They did lose at the weekend, didn't they? The Posh. But Crawley, I know we're going to talk a bit more in terms of the impact on Rotherham, but what a win to go there and win. 4-0 away win, no matter what the circumstances, is a great performance, isn't it? Whatever you're up to. So I'll back Crawley then. And it feels like both teams to score. So I'll also play for a bonus point. And I'll go Crawley 3, Peterborough 2.
Oh, Ben,
it's ridiculous, isn't it? No chance. Someone find the odds of that and go and stick £1 on it, and you can have that one on me, yeah? Please gamble responsibly. 18 plus only. BeGambleAware.org.
Love that, Ben. I will also back Crawley.
Go on.
I've really enjoyed Steve Evans' quotes this season, and I know he's now left Rotherham, or rather been pushed out the door, but he did give us one last one, Ben, and in his final post-match interview after Rotherham Crawley, he was like, Crawley are going to stay up, and you know if Steve Evans says something, it comes true. So I'm going to back Crawley 2-1 here, Ben. And on a serious note, because I know we laugh and we joke about Steve Evans, but on a serious note, Crawley, it really feels like something could happen here. I mean, Scott Lindsay knows the club. 2 wins in 2, 2 clean sheets. And Peterborough may be a nice team to play right now. That they've done enough to stay away from trouble. I'll back Crawley 2-1. So we've both got the Crawley win. Ben, another big game. Huddersfield need a result here. They're away at Sinshill Bank, Lincoln City. And I'm up first. I don't know with Huddersfield now, Ben. We've had some really spotty results since they got rid of.
Yeah, don't draw, do they?
They don't. They obviously beat Crawley convincingly. That was before Scott Lindsay went back there. They then lost 4-0 at the weekend to Charlton, Ben. Lincoln are a pretty solid team that if Huddersfield don't get their game plan right, Lincoln could win this. But Lincoln haven't got as much to play for, so I will just back Huddersfield on that and go Lincoln 1, Huddersfield 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of going down the same school of thought as you. I was going to back Huddersfield for the win, that this is going to be hotchy-potchy all over the place. They still could get sixth. I don't think they will, sat here right now, just because of the managerial situation. But then if I'm a Huddersfield fan, the next thing I'm saying is, all right then, Ben, who does get sixth? To which I'm like, don't really know. It's completely open. So if I can't say on the one hand I don't know, and that it's not going to be Huddersfield on the other hand. So yeah, I can see them. I can see them kind of force of will getting the win. Let's go tight then. Lincoln 0. You went 2-1, didn't you? I can have 1-0, can't I? Lincoln 0, Huddersfield 1.
Lincoln 0, Huddersfield 1. Yep. I like that. If Huddersfield win, they might be able to jump back into the top 6. They'll have an eye on Reading going away to Blackpool, so maybe Huddersfield's fixture's slightly nicer. We will see. On to the next one, Ben. You are up first for Mansfield, who are becoming a streaky team. They've won back-to-back games now. And Charlton Athletic, Ben, what a win for them. 4-0 against Huddersfield, we just touched on. Where are you going with this?
I just want to ask the Mansfield fans in the comments, what would you rather? Because it didn't win for 100 years and then win 2 on the trot. Would you rather have not won for 6, won a game, and then not won for 6 and then won a game? Well, I suppose the 2-game winning streak's good fun, isn't it? Sorry, Mansfield fans. I think it ends here. And, Charlton, not just in recent times, but I think we're going back into December, maybe even that far, aren't we? It's just been in really good form for sort of 20 games or so, haven't they? So, I'll be back in Charlton. 1-0 Charlton.
Oh, that is a scribble, Ben.
Of course it is.
I credit to Mansfield. They've improved. I think last time they played Charlton, they got a 0-0. The thing with Charlton, Ben, is they had that 1 month. I'm not sure if it was November or January where they really fell away, and I think they came out of the top 6. And if they'd have just been decent in that month, they'd be in the top 2 conversation right now with the form they're in. I'd better go 2-0 then. Maybe based on what we saw at the weekend, they'll score more than 1 this time as well. Mansfield 0, Charlton 2. Sorry, Mansfield, but looks like Mansfield are going to stay up. That's definitely a positive. But Charlton, look very hard to stop right now. So I will back the Addicts. And then Ben, difficult. I'm up first for Northampton versus Rotherham. Do we get the no manager bounce? I'm not sure if they'll have a new one by the time this rolls around because it's midweek. It was really bad at the weekend, Ben. It's not been a good season. I'm not sure about yourself, but I had Rotherham to finish 3rd this season. I quite like their business.
May have even had them in the top 2.
Yeah.
I can't remember,
Remember, I think it was all of us getting really excited at the start of the summer. They brought in quite a few players, and we were like, they're good at this level. Johnson, Clark, Harris, and so on and so forth. And we thought, they'll do all right. And they've got Steve Evans. He knows his way around this division. They've just been really underwhelming. And that defeat at the weekend was awful. And then it did culminate in the fans singing, "We want Evans out," and he has gone. Do we get a reaction now, though? Possibly. But Northampton, Ben, do they have more to play for? Well, if Northampton beat Rotherham, Ben, they actually overtake them, which is quite interesting. I might go for Northampton. I really don't know. Northampton 2, Rotherham 1.
Interesting. I'm good. I was worried when you said no manager bounce, because I am playing the no manager bounce. And if we think, and I'll talk about Steve Evans for a second in a minute, if we think that this has just gone terribly wrong and wrong appointment, wrong time, etc., and you can have your opinions about Evans' style and what level of club it works at in relation to division. I'm talking about being an underdog with Stevenage and frankly being absolutely brilliant. And I just think there's this sense that they're gonna pick up, and I do think it might start right now. So for my prediction, let's go for a 2-0. Northampton 0, Rotherham 2. And I just want to open up the conversation to you in the comments, Matt. Why has this gone so wrong? And Tony Stewart, the owner, obviously he brought Liam Richardson in at the end of last season and took him out in double quick time. And, you know, the idea was that Steve Evans was going to come back and he knew the club and that they wanted fight and they wanted all of that stuff. And they weren't necessarily seeing that under Matt Taylor and latterly Liam Richardson, a man who has won League One before. You wonder, would Rotherham be 16th if Liam Richardson had been in it? I don't know. But again, that's another question. But yeah, I think this one's on the owner, isn't it? Because it was quite a bold. It wasn't like Steve Evans replaced Matt Taylor at the end of the season. They'd already made a change and he rolled the dice again. So yeah, I'm interested in your thoughts, Matt, and definitely if there's Rotherham fans in the comments, who's this one? I know Evans will obviously get a lot of the blame, but I think the owner doesn't come out looking great here, who's obviously been a great owner for Rotherham. But what's your thoughts, mate?
I think it's probably a culmination of things. I remember it was similar time to this last season, maybe a bit later when Steve Evans came in. I think Rotherham were already down or on the verge of going down. Maybe we all let ourselves get a bit too excited with some of the transfer activity. I still think they're a lot better than where they are in the table, but did we get a bit carried away? Another thing is League One harder than we've seen in previous seasons with Birmingham, Wrexham and Wycombe all performing so well? A lot of people have said as well, I mean, this is Rotherham fans, I've seen things being said on social media that Steve Evans' tactics don't work anymore. This isn't 10 years ago.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And I also think he might work better as an underdog. As you say, it's Stevenage. They were higher than where they should have been. But when you're at Rotherham and the expectation was quite high, might be more difficult to deliver on. So a culmination of things for me. And I do wish him the best. I do like him. I know we have a laugh and a joke, but I hope he gets.
Yeah, and well. Can I chime in there? A bloke has lost his job. So whatever you think of Steve Evans, it sucks when anybody loses their job. So if we can exercise any level of empathy and kindness, even if said person who lose their job can be a bit of a wind-up merchant at times, it's still somebody losing their job, isn't it, Matt?
I would not be surprised, Ben, to see him at a League Two club or a League One club, bringing them up the division before. Yeah. And for Rotherham, I wish them the best as well. Maybe if they get the right appointment, they can crack on next season. We move on, Ben, to Stockport versus Stevenage, which feels a low-scoring one. And who's up first? I think you're up first, annoyingly. Where are you going with this?
Well, yeah, it sounds like you're going to take 1-0 Stockport. So maybe I'll go for Stevenage are tailing off a little bit in Beachland in the middle of the table, aren't they? Do you know what? Should we go for Stockport to be reasonably comfortable in this one? Or they weren't reasonably comfortable against, but we thought Stockport Burton was going to be a bit tight, didn't we? Sorry, Stevenage fans. I'm going to go 3-0 Stockport and leave you the 1-0 then, Matt.
Oh, love that.
I'm a gentleman, aren't I?
Oh, what a gent. I showed you my hand. Terrible from me. But no, I like that. That's brave from you. So I hope it pays off for yourself. 3-0 Stockport, and I am going 1-0 Stockport.
So incoming 2-0 in the comments, please, guys. Yeah.
Right in the middle. So we're both back in Stockport, Ben. Just about wrapping up that playoff place. We think they're done as far as the top two race is concerned. So 7-point lead over 7th place. I'm sure they'll get the job done. And as for Stevenage, as you touched on, mid-table, not a lot going on right now, but they've had a good season, big picture. Wigan versus Bolton is up next, Ben. And I remember when we had the reverse fixture earlier in the season, we had loads of Wigan and Bolton fans telling us in the comments, don't read too much into the league table in this. The head-to-head record speaks for itself, and Wigan have a really good record against Bolton. And I've remembered that for this one, because looking at the table, I was quite confident I'll go for Bolton. But I think Wigan might get something. I know Bolton are a good team and Schumacher will get them pushing back towards the playoffs again. They have lost 3 in a row, so they really do need a win. I'm going to go 1-1. I think Wigan won't lose, is what I will say.
Yeah, 1-1 was one of my options there. I'm going to go for the Bolton bounce back because,
mind games didn't work.
No, you see him losing 4 in a row under Schumacher. I know they've been sketchy at times under Ian Evatt earlier in the season as well. But yeah, just for that, it's just anyone's that 6th place, isn't it? And all the managers there, Brucey and Wellens and Schumacher and Huddersfield aren't going to employ anybody, but they're all going to be looking at that and saying, "Come on, guys, this is yours. Get in there," and then it's tournament football for 3 games. And I think Schumacher will sell that to the Bolton players, and I think they're going to go to Wigan and win. I'll go 2-1. Wigan 1, Bolton 2.
I like it. There you go. We've got the Bolton win, which would mean more chaos in the playoff race. Do share your thoughts down below, guys. We move on to 3rd place Wycombe Wanderers, Ben, against bottom of the table Shrewsbury Town. Wycombe won again, 1-0. You got it right, by the way, Ben. They beat Lincoln 1-0. You got it spot on. Shrewsbury.
Did you see that Cam Humphreys was the scorer as well on loan from Ipswich?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. No, that's great. He's having a good season, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
Shrewsbury Town 4-1 defeat to Birmingham City there, Ben. Big news, obviously, Ainsworth has gone. Appleton has come in. They've also had, I've just seen this now, Ben, Shrewsbury Town have had a takeover plan fall through right now. So no good news at Shrewsbury right now, unfortunately, and relegation is imminent. And it's a difficult game. Where are you going with this?
And no Wild Thing return to Adams Park either as well for Gareth Ainsworth, hey? Yeah, it doesn't smell good, this. I think I'm not going to go for 4 goals conceded. I'm going to go for a 3-goal margin of victory, though, same as last week. I think it's a comfortable one for Wycombe, don't you? Wycombe 3, Shrewsbury 0.
Yeah, nearly a scribble. I've gone 2-0. I just think Shrewsbury will go there and just try and hang on as much as they can for anything. But Wycombe will break them down. So Wycombe 3-0 and Wycombe 2-0, and a win's a win. Let's have a little look at the goal difference between Wycombe and Wrexham, Ben. If Wycombe
miles apart, is it?
If Wycombe could boost theirs an extra 3 here, then they should stay ahead of Wrexham on goal difference this season. So if there is that possibility, they land level on points, then Wycombe will be ahead on that. Do share your thoughts. We're both back in Wycombe. We've got 2-0 and 3-0. And the final game, Ben, is a big one between Bristol Rovers and Birmingham City. Birmingham a step closer to promotion with the win over Shrewsbury. Wycombe and Wrexham keep winning, so Birmingham not. I'm trying to work it out, Ben. Is it about 4 games time, maybe 4 or 5 games time? They might be up.
I'm going to give you a projection in a minute if you keep talking.
Okay, and Bristol Rovers, Ben, they could really do with something. Bristol Rovers are hanging above that bottom 4, and if Burton or Crawley get any results, then Bristol Rovers are under pressure. 106.9 point projection. There you go.
You call it 107, so they go above Reading's points total.
Yeah, well, I'm going to back them here, Ben. Obviously, I think
go figure. Yeah,
yeah. No, surprise. Do you know what? Should we do a bonus point? I haven't done one. I've played it too safe. Let's go. Bristol Rovers 1, Birmingham 4.
Yeah. I mean, so what's the Bristol Rovers approach going to be? It's going to be just try and keep a clean sheet and draw the game 0-0, isn't it? Just keep them away from the goal. Try not to get absolutely battered, isn't it? And I know for our narrative at the bottom of the table, we've kind of spoken about Bristol Rovers are the key to the whole thing, and they have lost 3 games on the trot. Unfortunately, the swing's been for Crawley, who were further back than Burton.
I will say, Ben, by the way, I know Bristol Rovers' form is terrible at the moment, but they're actually 3 points behind 15th. So look at the traffic jam there.
Yeah, and looking at I know we always get a bit confused because you and I are so preoccupied with the Championship where 3 go down, and you have this 45, 46, 47 in your head, which is obviously completely different. So maybe I'm being a little unfair to Bristol Rovers on the points total because it is well above the point per game. But again, it's a higher standard when 4 drop, doesn't it? But you all know I'm going to predict Birmingham to win. So they go to 89. So it could be 90 points in the next game for Blues if they can do this. And we said after the defeat, they're going to want a really pithy run now between now and the end of the season. I'm not sure it'll be as loose as you think it's going to be, Matt. I think, honestly, mate, if this game's 2-0 to Birmingham and there's half hour left, do you not think both teams go, fair enough?
I do. No, I scribbled out my own prediction here because I've played it too safe, so that's why I went for the bonus.
Yeah, point. let's all go home. We'll all move on. I will take that as the outcome, Matt. That as soon as this goes 2 goals, I think Birmingham are like on to the next, and Bristol Rovers are okay. As you know, we've lost. You know, there's other fish to fry here. So I'll go Bristol Rovers 0, Birmingham 2.
Yeah, I like that. And not long now, Ben. Sunday the 13th is the final for the Pizza Cup, so that's something Birmingham will look forward to. I think they're sold out, as you'd expect they would as well. So that should be good fun.
Yeah, I'd imagine they'll get some more of the top bowlers as well. I'd imagine that'll happen. So there might be some opportunity for. I'm sure the Birmingham fans will find their way into the other end by hook or by crook. I'm not advocating that, of course, on Matt's channel here, but I'm sure it's going to happen, isn't it?
Yes. Sit where you're supposed to. That's it.
Be creative with your postcode when you're buying your tickets. If you were to want to do that, again, I'm not advocating it.
Yes, as I say, sit where you're supposed to. Guys, be sure to share your predictions down in the comments. That's it from us for midweek. We will re-adjourn after this, and then it'll be game week 41. Ben, thank you so much for joining me again. What can people find on your channel?
Utter carnage, mate. We're into the running in the championship now, and if you haven't been following, really riveting title race now with a little slip by Leeds in the end in the last game. Sheffield United, Matt saw him. Check out Matt's coverage of that first-hand play really well against Coventry. Burnley are 26 undefeated. So this is
Coventry.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about the title race, not about Coventry, Matt. But yeah, it's beautifully. And Matt, you get to this point, don't you, in the EFL seasons, and it gets towards spring, and it is the tension. You all know what I mean. It is just unbearable, and we get to watch as a neutral. So all our love to the fans of the teams involved, and Matt's lot in the playoff race there, and very similar to League One, really, where we think Coventry will probably take 5th place, but 6th looks very up for grabs, and down at the bottom, complete chaos down there as well. We've got Derby playing tomorrow night as well. So loads going on, loads to talk about on that. So go over and take a look and hit subscribe. I'll be your best friend.
Yes, guys. Yeah, be sure to get involved on Ben's channel. The first link in the description. Sorry, we're giggling to ourselves because I had a boomer moment there. Guys, do get involved. Ben did a great video on League One a week or 2 ago. He might do another one soon as we get into the run-in. So do subscribe to Ben's channel. Make sure you're subscribed over here. Thank you once again for your support, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.